With a full sack, the godly bad boy does not need to ask for anything. All he does is assume what is his, and he ignores reality. All the godly bad boy really is someone, a man, who has escaped the matrix. He's escaped the peculiarities of the day-to-day life outside of him and has now embraced his own peculiarities inside of himself to the degree in which people on the outside can't handle it. They don't know how to handle the godly bad boy. And the godly bad boy is essentially the godly man who stands by his principles. And he's not trying to control, but he is very focused on the discipline. He's focused on the discipline, but he's not doing discipline for discipline's sake. He's disciplined for the sake of embodying the energy of who he needs to be to have what he wants. You see, this is all about embodiment. It's about being able to embody the type of energy that you need to move into the type of being that you want. And have you ever noticed that the godly bad boy, as he makes decisions with pure instinct and feeling and intuition. But he's quick about it. He's not trying to force anyone to be on his schedule or to be, in his life. He's just saying, look, this is the offer. This is what I have to offer. If you're aligned with this, great. If not, great. Because he knows, the godly bad boy knows that he's already there. He already has it. And especially the godly bad boy with the full sack, he's going to have something that any man could possibly have. Any man could have this power. But it's not about power, right? It's about embodying the energy of being the king, right? I mean, you can be a monk, or you can be whatever type of archetype you want to be, but do you want to be having the monk's piece or the king's piece or the lover's piece or the magician's piece? I mean, what type of piece do you want? And how do you embody that? Me, myself, I'm not saying I'm a godly bad boy, but this is something that I think needs to be discussed because it helps people with a direction. You see, I've been thinking a lot about the pull to God and the soul of existence and the pull to that which is physical and humane. What's the real difference? What exactly is the difference? And if there is a difference, why? Why is there a difference? Well, really, the pull to God is simply being in timelessness all the time. You're just always in timelessness. You're timeless in timelessness. Whereas the physical plane, you're in linear time. You're on timelines. And it's not to say that you can't be on a high-value timeline in the third dimension, but you are more probabilistically actualization, like you're more capable of probabilistically actualizing a higher value timeline from a place of timelessness because you're pulling the energy and you're embodying the energy of who you want to be out here. This is how godly bad boys get anything and anyone they want. It's because the godly bad boy doesn't exist in linear time. The godly bad boy is beyond that, but he sees it. And this is something that I myself, you see, I want the king's piece. But even that, I want. Well, who's I? who is it that I want? Well, it's not really me that wants it. It's the expression of godliness flowing through me that wants to express itself in a certain type of way here. So this is how it's going to be. This is how the godliness wants to express itself. It's not me doing anything. It's the soul of existence expressing itself through me. And so my task, I say that loosely, my task is this, right here, right now. This is my task. So how exactly can I orient myself from timelessness, but also recognize that there are many people out there that are still suffering with corn, with addictions, with drugs, with whatever type of lust or gluttony, or how can I orient myself from timelessness while also seeing the suffering of the world but not being attached to it, still wanting to serve and help people grow closer to the light, and genuinely wanting to do so, but not being attached to that which is out here, and not even being attached to the feelings in here. Because something that I noticed today with racquetball, I was playing racquetball at the gym this morning, and I mean, man, these guys that I play with sometimes, man, like I play with these guys like 5 times a week in the mornings, and there's one guy who's almost 40, and then there's other 2 guys that are like in their 60s. And by golly, these are some of the best racquetball players I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's just insane how good they are. And especially the 60-year-olds. I mean, these guys are just crazy. I'm crazy good. The precision, like, they're not always super fast, but the precision is insane. Like, it's like no matter what I do, it's like no matter what I do, man, I don't know what that is. Like, I can't win. And then I noticed that. I'm like, oh, no, Thaddeus, that's the ego right there. That's the ego. Get rid of that. You see, the godly bad boy wins by forgetting how to lose. Bruce Lee talked a lot about learning the art of dying is to be liberated from it. And that's exactly what it is. So instead of I can't win, like, I don't know what I can't do anything, I can't win here. Instead, I immediately recognized that, and I felt the decision of changing the decision. And I felt joy that, wow, I'm learning so much. I'm realigned now. And in that moment, the anger and the frustration of not being able to win completely subsided. And then something happened in my belly. Something happened in my belly. And I still kind of feel it. And I don't exactly know. It's like a cleansing of my will. I would say that's what it is. Like, even right now, just like sending my belly some love. I'm sending my belly some love. Because it's like, this is part of the process. I'm not a fully self-realized godly bad boy. But I think to claim fully self-realization is like missing the point, right? Like, I think that I don't even think about it. It's just that why would you claim to be fully self-realized? Why would you ever claim that? Because that means that there's nothing else to do, right? But then simultaneously I think to myself, okay, but if you claim, but like, to just be fully self-realized is something else entirely. You don't claim fully self-realization, you just be fully self-realized. So how do you embody that? And that's been something I've been asking myself recently. It's like, how do I embody that? Well, just make decisions with the fruits of the Holy Spirit, so to speak. Make decisions with joy. Make decisions with wisdom. And embody that. Truly embody that. And keep assuming that whatever you want is going to happen. And guess what? things are already happening. The more that you live in the present moment, the quicker the universe responds. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that amazing? The quicker that you live in the moment, you almost, instead of being on a collapsing timeline, you get on an accelerated timeline into vertical timelines. So instead of trying to go horizontally, you're vertical. You're just aligning yourself with that which is. Because it is. It's just like the sun. It's just like the sun. The sun just is. That thing is going to shine no matter what. It's going to shine. And this is part of the cleansing process. You know, this is part of realizing who we really are and what we really are about. And so the godly bad boy is simply the person, the man who has seen through this stuff. And he's seen through enough to where his presence alone is going to arouse women. You can, once you get to a certain point, you can just feel the heat of the woman in between her legs when you're around her. This, a lot of men who've never experienced this don't even understand what I'm saying. But fortunately, if you're still watching this, you probably are the type of person who at least is aware that this can happen or has experienced this multiple times. Because you can experience this, like the heat between a woman's legs you can feel that. It's like the more that you ground yourself justly and righteously in a way that you're not trying to be righteous or you're not trying to be just, you just are, like you just embody the justness and you embody the righteousness. Like, we don't need to try to be good as godly bad boys or as awakened souls. We don't need to try to be good. We just are. Because that's what we are. We are love. I mean, the Beatles said it. All you need is love, right? All you need is love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all. I mean, it's really that simple, but it's the ego that kind of makes us think that there's all these other things we need to look at and do and think about and how we need to act and respond. But the godly bad boy is simply just that. He is on a high value timeline by simply acknowledging that that's the type of timeline he wants to be on. I mean, think about this, right? Think about who exactly do you want to be? And how can you embody? What kind of decisions would they make? What kind of, and how would they make their decisions? This is how they get anyone or anything. This is how, I mean, you don't have to be a godly bad boy to incorporate these principles. Just simply act as if. I mean, Jesus Christ said, and I'm not preaching Jesus Christ here, I'm just saying, like, as far as the literary masterpiece that is the Bible, Jesus Christ said that love your neighbor as yourself. Well, in the story of Hanuman with the Hindu religion, where Hanuman says, when I don't know who I am, I serve you. But when I know who I am you. Well, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Because that gives what Jesus Christ says a whole new meaning. A whole new meaning of life. So now you have to ask yourself, what kind of peace do you want to embody? What kind of life do you want to embody? What kind of life do you want to live? Are you somebody that travels? Are you somebody that goes places? How can you start to embody these things? How can you start to really live out these things? Because life can be that simple. We just kind of make it more difficult than it needs to be. Man, I love the sun. I love being out in the sun. I think it's supposed to snow here in the next couple days, which is kind of crazy. because it's almost May. But that's what you get for living in the mountains. But honestly, it wouldn't be too bad. You know, it's not even too bad at all. Like, this is another thing about being in timelessness. This is, again, like the pull to God and the pull to humanity and humanness. Have you ever noticed a lot of these religious folks, the religionists, you know, no hate, but they're like, no, you have to believe in demons. They're real. You have to believe it. It's like, I mean, yeah, like the negative spirits and the demons, you might say, are real, but they don't have to be true. You can live from a place of timelessness in which they have rediscovered their divine spark. Hello, like you can do this. You can live on a higher plane multidimensionally, simultaneously. You're a multidimensional being. You're an interdimensional being. Why would you, I mean, if you need to live in horror in order to feel grounded in reality, then do that, I guess. But if you don't need horror, but you can recognize it, and you can still serve as you're there, and you can still be the light and help people grow towards the light when you're there and as you're there, there's nothing wrong with that. But orient yourself from the place of timelessness, recognizing that we still have a physical body. I mean, maybe you could just drop your body, right? Maybe you could just, you're done with the body. Hello, bee. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a bee like right there. But yeah, you can just drop the body, right? You know, like dying, again, it's learning the art of dying. To learn the art of dying is to be liberated from it, like Bruce Lee says. What would happen if you let go of the belief that you need to believe in demons? What would happen? I mean, you just look outside and you just see the trees. You just see the mountains. You just see the sun. You just enjoy the warmth of being. Oh, but there's demons. It's like, okay, well, then you're choosing suffering. You're choosing suffering at that point. And you're choosing to live a more complex life. And if that's something that you want to do, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But it's also not my obligation to help you if you choose to suffer unnecessarily. So the godly bad boy, he doesn't choose to suffer unnecessarily. If he has to suffer, he'll do it. But if he doesn't have to, why would he choose to suffer? It's ludicrous, man. It's absolutely ludicrous. So you can just get anything or be anything or have anyone you want. Because even saying that, like, there's no, like, when you get something, you're not really getting something, you're just having it, right? There's nothing to get. You already have it. You either have it or you don't. There's nothing to get, because that implies that there's something out here that you don't have, right? There's something that you're trying to seek. The godly bad boy doesn't seek, he just is. But a lot of people understand that intellectually, but they don't live it from their heart. And I know this because I'm still learning how to do that. And I have enough self-awareness to acknowledge that I'm not yet fully embodying it. I can definitely embody it, but I'm not yet fully to the point in which I can fully embody that all the time. But I've reached a godlike mastery level in which I can do that enough, but not to the point in which I would say, like, yeah, I'm a fully self-realized being. I just don't think that's, I think that that's just missing the point of whole enlightenment. But the godly bad boy can just enjoy life with a full sack, man. We can just enjoy life. And we can just be, because that's who we want to be. So with all that being said, I hope that this message was useful and insightful for you. I hope everybody stays blessed. Peace. Until next time.